Gazans love Donald Trump. Yet new footage straight from the war zone in Gaza shows crowds of men chanting and cheering Donald Trump and America's name after they received desperately needed aid relief from a US and Israel-backed aid center.
Thank you, America!
The sheer relief of finally having food and supplies was overwhelming for the Gazans, who showed their appreciation to US aid workers. And to add even more desperation to the situation, Daily Wire journalist Cassie Akiva said, "A source at one of the Gaza distribution sites tells me that Hamas set up a roadblock to prevent Gazans from getting aid. They broke through it and were shouting, 'Thank you, America,' upon reaching the site." And the gratitude was felt again with this group. And this footage shows civilians flocking to the aid center whilst praising Trump.
شكرا للرئيس ترامب على حل الأزمة الإنسانية في غزة. إن شاء الله تضلها مستمرة على هذا الحال. هاي هم الكراتين. هاي الناس ماشية. حمل الكراتين. شكرا رئيس ترامب. شكرا.
This Gazan slammed Hamas for leaving Gazans in a desperate state whilst thanking Americans for saving him.
أنا اليومين جاي عند عمي، سمعت قالوا لنا في خبر قالت النقطة الأمريكية إنها بتوزع مساعدات. عادي رحت قريب فيش لقيت الناس بتروح طبيعي وعادي. ما حدش يعني قال لنا روح ولا حد، لقينا الناس بتروح، وصلنا لقينا الناس صار في طابور والشركة الأمريكية بتوزع بشكل منتظم. لما قالوا لنا ما فيش خلص المساعدات، الناس هجمت واحنا كنا من ضمن اللي هجموا. احنا بنقول حسبي الله ونعم الوكيل على كل واحد خلى الشعب زي هيك. لو انه واحد يقدر يوفر لنا كيلو طحين غير ال3 كيلو اللي بتوفر لنا النقطة الأمريكية كان ما حدش في الشعب راح. انت قاعد بتقول الحين كيلو طحين ب100 شيكل في السوق، كيف انا واهلي ممكن احنا نشتريه؟ ولو كان مع الواحد امكانية كيف باقي العائلات ممكن تشتريه؟ هاي اللي دفعنا احنا نروح على النقطة الأمريكية. وبالعكس كانوا كويسين معانا. كانوا يسلموا الكابونات، صاروا يقولوا لنا خذوا. بعكس اللي كان هو ماسك القطاع ومش عارف يعمل معانا حاجة. احنا كشعب بنقول لكم احنا بدنا اي حل، اي شيء ممكن يوفر لنا الشغلات هذه. كان ما لقيتش حد بروح على النقطة الأمريكية، احنا رحنا مع القلة. إذا حماس بتسمعنا تحل عن دين الشعب بموت، الشعب بنتهي.
And whilst innocent people in Gaza are literally thanking Trump and America for saving their lives, the pro-Palestine activists and the mainstream media in the West are trying to spin the story by claiming the videos are AI generated. A senior journalist at BBC Verify did in fact verify the images and footage as real, saying there are viral but false claims that this video of the new Tel Al Sultan aid distribution centre in Gaza is AI generated and fake. The video is real and was filmed by the main entrance to the site, which is visible in satellite images, drone footage and other videos. Online commentators were frustrated with the false AI claims, with this person saying, "You are correct. Wild to see the amount of confusion out there. But I guess when reality doesn't line up with someone's beliefs, it's a bitter pill to swallow." But some activists just won't relent. This woman bizarrely blasted the aid.
Did you see the mayhem in Gaza today when a tiny bit of food was distributed? After blocking food to Gaza for nearly 3 months and creating these famine conditions, Israel's new US-backed aid distribution plan began today and immediately descended into chaos. Thousands of desperate Palestinians rushed the barbed wire enclosed site, and armed contractors fired live rounds to control the crowds. This is not a humanitarian aid plan. It is a system of containment and control. Instead of working with the UN and the NGOs that have proven systems for delivering aid, Israel and the US bypassed them with false claims that Hamas was diverting aid.
And on the other hand, Israel's ambassador to the UN hit back, shockingly blaming the UN for blocking aid.
Not only has the UN refused to condemn Hamas for its efforts to sabotage the new aid centers. We have seen the pictures of Hamas blocking people. But the UN is now actively joining Hamas in trying to block that aid. The UN is using threats, intimidation, and retaliation against NGOs that choose to participate in the new humanitarian mechanism. A number of major international NGOs made a decision to take part in the new aid initiative. They decided to ignore the UN's calls for a boycott. They are allowed to do it. They said, we want to give it a try. We want to help this new mechanism. They chose to act because they truly care about what happened. The UN's response was brutal. It was mafia-like. Without any discussion, without due process, the UN removed those NGOs from the shared aid database. That database, I want to remind you, is a central system for tracking aid deliveries into Gaza.